Hello and welcome back to the Learning Crypto YouTube channel. Today we are featuring Solana and taking a look at some potential dip buying areas, some TPs for the bull run, and of course taking a look back at the analysis we did back on the 16th of October. So if you enjoy our content, please do like and subscribe. It helps us grow and we really do appreciate it. Also, we're increasing the number of videos we're putting out each week. So the best way to avoid missing those videos is, of course, to be subscribed. So let's get straight into it. Oh, and of course, before I forget, nothing in this video should constitute as financial advice. So let's get straight into the chart. So as I said, 16th of October, quite a while ago, a lot has changed since then, since we made that video. So 16th of October, we were literally just around here, about $20. Let's zoom into the daily, just see where we were. There we go. We were about, 23-ish dollars. And I was basically saying in that video that you want to be doing all your buying whilst we're in this weekly range. So weekly range high at $26, weekly range low at $12.30, and mid-range coming in at $19. And basically saying you really want to be getting those buys in before we break out of this range. And I can't say I was wrong about that. As you can see, absolute massive move from Solana up to $125, far surpassing anyone's expectation. I think I don't think anyone expected such a huge move, particularly from Solana at this stage of the bull market. Really outperformed a lot of things and was pretty much the leader in this entire run, all the way from October up until the top that we put in and around Christmas time. So massive performance by Solana. So if we take a look at where some potential different opportunities, of course, as I say, we topped out around 125. So we're currently about 33-ish% off of the top, which is still a pretty good buy area to be considering. And as you can see, we are sat on a pretty decent level of weekly support here at $78. We've pinged off it a little bit over the last couple of days. In fact, might have even been today. But as you can see, your support back here, back at the beginning of March 2022. And of course, it was resistance back here at the beginning of December. Broke above impulse, and now we've come back into this higher time frame level of demand. So that's a pretty good area. If we do carry on dipping a little bit further, obviously BTC is currently under 40k. It may well go to the mid 30s, maybe even the low 30s. We don't know. But if it does continue to drop, if we just run a fib on it from the start of the run up to the top, you can see that 618 comes in at around $60. Nice big psychological level. And of course, you can see this consolidation we had back here in November before the second impulse up. So that could be a good area anywhere from here down to the 618 at $60. If we're really lucky, in fact, let's just grab that fib back. The 786 actually lines up with these weekly wicks as well, which would be a decent level of support. If we get that far, I would be surprised if we did. Percentage-wise, that would be a dip of 66%. So I would be very surprised if we got that. But doesn't cost you anything to put a bid in there. And if it gets filled, then happy days. But personally, I think probably around $60, that 618 is a good target to aim for. So let's take a look at the TP areas. These are unchanged from the last video we did, which I'll link at the end of this video. So TP1, I thought was pretty optimistic, pretty realistic. Up here at sort of $50, it was where you've got this consolidation. So heavy resistance here back in April, May 2021, support in May 2022, resistance in July, August 2022. And you can see we come up, we did tag it on the last week of October, had a little bit of a retrace, not much, it's probably a few percent, 10% at most. Oh, no, it's about 13%, so pretty decent pullback, and then big impulse above. So TP1 kind of got blasted through unless you took TP, took profit and then jumped straight back in. TP2, again, so pretty decent level of resistance. So the level that I just highlighted earlier, this support back here from 14th of March or in March 2022, resistance in early December, decent pullback. If we go for that wick, where did that pull back to? That pulled back about 20% pullback. So would have been a nice area to take profit, reinvest back in at the 20% pullback. And then you can see this big impulse we had here. We've now pulled back, as I mentioned earlier, into this level and holding it as support for now. So as I say, probably not a bad area to start dollar cost averaging in. If you took profits from higher, or if you were, FOMOing and wanted to buy here at 125, you've got a much better opportunity here to buy in. TP3, So this is up here, clear level of previous support and resistance, as you can see, up at about 138, 140. Support back here in September 2021 all the way through to October, and then support again in January of 2022, and then resistance before the big drop in 28th or end of March, start of April 2022. So a return back up to there from today's current prices on this level of support is still a 68% return, so that's not too bad at all. Next TP, again, another nice clean level. Resistance here in September 2021 and October 2021. And then, so that was resistance. And then support here, end of November 21, start of December. And then you can see we lost the level back in the beginning of January of 2022. So a return to those prices from today's prices, you're still looking at doubling your money there at 113%. Last two TPs, again, nice clean level. All these weekly wicks. Back in, so resistance October of 2021, broke over the top, held it as support for a little while in November 21, but then finally lost it. Big spike here as resistance towards the end of November 21, and then finally the last tap before the big drop in December 2021, and that is at about $200. So big round psychological level. From here, you're looking at a just shy of 150%, 146%, not too bad at all. And then of course the final TP back at all-time highs, $250-ish, and you are looking at a return of 200%, obviously three times current day's prices. So not too bad at all. And as I say, you can do all sorts of things with profits. Gives you all sorts of options. You can either use those profits to buy back in as you come back and retest levels of support. You can diversify, invest into other projects with essentially a free bag because it's all profits, or simply just withdraw it, use it as everyday money, buy yourself something nice, or put it towards taxes, all that sort of stuff. But if you round trip and you've got no profits to show for it at the end of the cycle, then you've got no one else but yourself to blame. And as I say, each of these TP levels, of course, you can use these or use your own. Maybe you want to do something simple, like every time your bag doubles. So, if you bought in at, say, $20, you take some profit at 40, 80, etc. Or maybe you want to just go big psychological round numbers, so $50, $100, $150, whatever it is. How you take profits and how much you take, completely up to you and down to your circumstances, but take profits along the way. It gives you those options. And as I say, if you only took 10% at each of these, starting from down here, if you took 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, you've still got 50% to ride to new all-time highs, if of course we get there. And as you can see, sometimes it works out, as you can see in other videos where it's hit TP, come back down, retest level. In Solana, as you can see, not quite so much, but even if you did sell here, you've got the chance to get back in at no loss at all. So, and whatever you want to do with these profits, if you took them down here, is up to you. So, as I say, you don't go broke taking profits, so make sure you take some and have a plan for when that bull run comes and you get all those emotions and you're panicking about not knowing what to do, especially on the big dips. Of course, Bitcoin regularly gives 30% pullbacks in bull markets, big 50% drop in the last bull market, and everyone was regretting not taking profits. So don't be that person. Let's move on then to Sol BTC. And again, it was a very similar scenario that I talked about last time. Here back in October, we were at this weekly mid-range at about 7,600 sats. And again, I said you want to be doing all your buying before we break out of this range. And once again, you can see we blasted through. Again, massive outperformance against BTC. Not many altcoins have a chart looking like this over the past few months. Absolutely insane rally from Solana. Let's take a look at where we had our TPs from the last video. So first one, really nice clean level here, up at around 18,000 sats. You can see heavy resistance all the way through June, July, August 2022, and even a tap here in October 2022. And you can see this one worked out pretty well. Nice little tap on the 13th of week of 13th of November, and then we dipped all the way down. What's that? That's about I'm not going to guess this time, 25% retracement. So again, could have converted back into BTC, got back into Solana, and then for that final leg. So that was a nice TP area there. TP2 again worked out really well. Yes, it went higher up to about, so this TP area was about 25,000 sats, went up to about 28,000, but you can see we're well below that now. And if you did take profits there, converted into BTC, you're now looking at a retracement of about 15%. We may well come back and retest this first TP1 area as support. So that would be a pullback of about 25-26%. As I say, you can reinvest those profits back in here and maybe even rebuy the profits you sold here. Completely up to you. But just sort of fictional examples of what you can do when you take those profits, and it all works out. So if we were to return back up to that TP, you're looking at about 18%. Not too bad. Probably wouldn't take profits from at this stage again. Probably wait for the next TP, which is up at about 30,000 sats. Again, nice clean level of previous support and resistance. As you can see, support here 13th and 20th September 21, and back here in October 21 before we lost it, retested resistance on the 28th of March 2022. So a return back up to those prices from today, you're still looking at a 46% return on your Bitcoin. Last two TPs, nice and obvious. This heavy resistance area that we never got a weekly close above, many attempts all the way from November 2021 all the way through to the end of December. So from the beginning of November all the way through to the end of December, 2 solid months of trying to get over this level of 40,000 sats, big psychological level. It never did. It got over it, but didn't get a weekly close above it. And as you see, that return from today's prices up to there is about 87%. And then the absolute all-time highs, which we put in on this spike on this week of the 6th of November 2021, up at 46,000 sats, you are still looking at a return of 120%. So as I say, not a bad area to start dollar cost averaging in, especially if we get down to this weekly level here. If we just quickly put a fib on it, let's take a look at where the 618 ends up. So you can see we're right on the 382. This weekly level of support, this TP1 that I marked out about 18,000 sats, that lines up with the 0.5, and the 618 actually lines up with this previous support and consolidation. So all three of these areas, probably really good areas to consider converting some BTC into Solana, ready for the next leg up. When that'll be, maybe a couple of months from now, maybe sooner, if ETH, BTC and alts decide to run hard against BTC. But as I say, some pretty decent levels there to have marked out on your charts. The 382, which we're currently on, the 0.5, which lines up with this 18,000 sats previous level of resistance, and then of course a really deep retracement at 618, which is 15,000 sats at this support consolidation area. So hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it useful. If you did, drop a like, consider subscribing, all that good stuff, and also drop in the comments, have you invested in Solana? Are you looking at it? Have you taken profits? Where are you planning to do it, etc.? And also drop below any suggestions you've got for videos you want to see on this channel. But for now, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.